What's up guys, and welcome back to another episode of Cork to Glory. This is episode number 35. And we start today's episode off by seeing the transfer window has officially closed for the summer, and I don't know if you guys are the same as me as I'll run you through the scouting update and the academy update here as well. But I practically always get a bid for one of my players directly after the transfer window shuts. It's so strange. It seems to happen every single time. Like as soon as the clock hits midnight, the 10 hours run out and deadline day is over, I'll get a bid for one of my players literally straight afterwards. Same in this case as well, a bid for Alan Cooney, which we have accepted. Of course, he was on the transfer list. Hopefully that will go through when the January window opens. And also a brief look at the academy as well. So far from our 2 months worth of scouting this season, we haven't found anyone too good. Also rejected this guy, released this guy, I should say, Chris Luffrin. Whilst he does have the highest overall, his potential is the worst. But of course, as we know, we're still waiting for Luke Byrne. He's the one, man. He is the chosen one. I haven't seen a single player in this year's FIFA career mode with potential that high. And as we know now, and the range is set. The range is not dropping. He's guaranteed to have 90 to 94 potential. I just can't wait. Still, for the first game of 10 in today's episode here, that's right, 10 games in today's episode as we kick on through the season after the transfer window closes in the summer. We will take on Blackburn Rovers, the team that we've had the best away victory against in the series so far, the 5-0 thrashing at Ewood Park last season. Taking them on though, you would have seen heading to the game, we had 7 absentees for this match due to international call-ups, including new club captain Barry Sharkey. And I found it really ironic that in the season I talked about the reason why we decided to take the captaincy off Keenan and give it to Sharkey is because Keenan last season went away a couple of crucial stages in the season to go on international duty. 5 weeks into the new campaign as new club captain, Barry Sharkey's done the same thing. Terrible. But anyway, that was his first in Ireland call-up. I wasn't going to hold him against his will and keep him here. But we won without the boys though. I had 7 fringe players and bench players starting that game. And we still won the game by 2-0. And it was our new signings that got the goals as well. Sean Maguire, who of course we signed on transfer deadline day, getting a start for the first time since returning to Turner's Cross, scoring his first goal since coming back. That was so cool to see, man. And Gavin Kilkenny, who of course was released by Bournemouth in the summer, also got our second goal in a very comfortable 2-0 victory. And so for our second of 10 in today's episode, after the players have come back for the international break, taking on Sheffield Wednesday away at Hillsborough. Well, both of these guys were out for the game against Blackburn and away on international duty. They linked up for our first goal of the game. Barry Sharkey, club captain, to Samuel Bell, last year's top scorer for us, makes it 1-0, and then Bell gets his second 25 minutes in. So 2 goals in 5 minutes to Samuel Bell. I've said it before, but he is so lethal, man. Absolutely lethal. I think he's now a 75 rated striker, but he's one of those players who plays, as if his rating should be higher. To me, he feels like an 82, 83 rated striker. He's so quick, he's so agile, and he's so clinical as well. And speaking of players who play better than their rating suggests, Eamon Cunningham, mentioned him in the last episode. This guy is one of our biggest stars of the team, man. He makes it 3-0 right past the hour mark. And there are so many players in this team as well that feel like that to me, that their rating should be higher. And I think one of the reasons why is because, as you'll see, when we go into the games, and you'll notice this in your career modes as well, the players have oftentimes it will be either a plus or a minus in their position as we promote Dare Dooley to our first team here. 59 overalls, can't check the potential yet, but does have a decent potential range, or so it seems. I can't help myself but keep looking at Luke Byrne. But yeah, you see on the screen now, you would have seen for all of our players, every player has a +5 or a +2 or a +3, and when you look at their individual stats, you'll see that they've got a plus and a number next to the stat, which shows that they're playing at a higher level because of the fact they're in good form, and I believe morale affects that as well. But I think that's one of the reasons why, even though you would look at our team and we're considered a 3.5-star team now, we're just as good as the vast majority of teams in the division. Obviously, there are a couple of teams that are 4.5-star. That's Southampton and West Bromwich Albion. I think there's one team that's 4-star, and the rest are 3.5 or 3-star. I still feel like we're a 4 to a 4.5-star team, and I think it's again because of the overall boost that our players have due to being in good form. So That's one of the reasons why I'm never really surprised when I see players like Bell or Cunningham or whoever else just go completely ham and play as though they're like 85 rated, because sometimes it genuinely feels that way. And I think the statistic boost and the attribute boost, I should say, are the main reasons why I feel so confident when using them. So for the third game of this episode, we took on the Sky Blues Coventry City here at Turner's Cross. We scored 3 really interesting goals in a 3-0 win as well. First goal, Big Leo getting his first of the season from a trademark receiver corner. Second goal, a truly bizarre own goal, which I felt kind of embarrassed about scoring, to be honest. And on the hour mark, Ethan Elliott gets his, I think, second goal of the season with a wonderful bending effort. It's so frustrating that he doesn't show any potential anymore, and he's lost his potential tag, because I think at the moment the one area of concern for me for the long-term future with Cork is probably the winger role. You know, if we keep Samuel Bell here, then we've got a class striker for all the years to come. As we know, he shows great potential, he's fantastic. We've got great centre-backs in Leo Yates and Jamie Bowden. Obviously our full-backs are really strong as well, as we know. We're great in the central midfield role in terms of depth, and the starters we're using as well. You know, obviously Devine with the potential to be special, and Rory Keane, the exciting prospect, and Cunningham being our playmaker is just absolutely sublime as well. But the one area of concern for me is the wingers. We don't have like players with lightning pace. Sean Maguire, who we signed on deadline day, is our quickest by quite some distance. After that, I don't know who it is, probably McGlade, maybe Galvin with like 79, 80 pace. We're lacking real raw pace on the wing. That's the main area of concern for me, and also genuine potential as well. If there's, obviously I know that Healy's got potential to be special, so it kind of sounds ironic me saying that, but yeah, I do really want to find some better wingers out of the academy this season. But still, for match day 4 of 10 in today's episode here, Bristol City at Turner's Cross, and this is an interesting one. Now, as we know, the Robins last season mathematically ended our playoff hopes with 3 games to go at Ashton Gate by beating us 3-1. So we were looking for revenge in this game, in what is a revenge season, and we were 2-0 down just past the half-time mark, and I was thinking, my God, is this the game where our undefeated home start ends? Because this is really embarrassing and we're going out of a whimper. Barry Sharkey gets us back in the game, the club captain, and right towards the end of the game, Samuel Bell rescues us. And I've said it before, and I'll say it again, this team is so bloody resilient, man. We fight till the very last whistle. We've had so many comeback wins and draws, and there's another one there, battling back from 2 goals down to claim a big point and extend our unbeaten start home this season. So for the 5th of 10 in today's episode, travelling to Pride Park, Derby County, Wayne Rooney's side here away from home. 18 minutes in when he's lost his captain's armband, but he hasn't lost his ability. You know, when I made him captain, I said he's probably my favourite player in the team. He's definitely up there as one of my favourites. If I'm being honest here, it probably is actually Barry Sharkey, but he's my second favourite player. I love him. He's got so much energy. He's got so much physicality, but he's also really good technically as well. Rory Keane with a contender for goal this season there in a 1-0 victory. And you're noticing this, obviously we lost on match day 2 away at Midweek against Reading, and I'm sure everyone, myself including, was thinking, oh God, here we go again, another season where every single time we're in England or Wales we lose. But instead, another win away from home as we extend what has been a fantastic unbeaten run to the championship, where we haven't lost since that defeat at Midweek on match day 2. And for the 6th game of 10, returning back to Turner's Cross here, still unbeaten here in Ireland as well, winning every game but one. Taking on Swansea, taking the lead through Keenan, second goal in 2 games, and there were 2 minutes to go. Ethan Elliott wraps the points up to make it 2-0 and give us yet another victory as the streak continues. 5 wins in our last 6 games in the championship, and right now, whilst you haven't been seeing the league table, Southampton, as we know, after a red hot start, 4.5 star team, the best team in the division, but we're right next to them. Obviously we're the only team to beat them so far. We've got the exact same record. They're ahead of us by 6 goals in the goal difference when we've both got 29 points. Bournemouth are right behind us both with 28. But this is exactly what I wanted from this season. You know, I'm just going to say, this is revenge season for me. This is revenge season. Last year we bottled the playoffs. We had an absolutely atrocious away record. Even though we finished in 10th, we had, I think, the worst away record in the entire division, which is really embarrassing when you think about it. Because I think we only won 4 games out of 23. But this season, it feels like revenge season, man. Every single time I go into a game, and particularly my away days now as well, I'm like, there's that meme. I'll see if I can find it. I'll put it on the screen right now as I run you through the academy, and I can't stop looking at Luke Byrne. I'll put a meme on the screen now if I can find it. It's the one where like the guy, it's like illustration of a guy playing a video game. He's sort of like nonchalantly sort of like sitting back in his chair, not really bothered. You see the fixtures for October here. Absolutely massive game away at the Hawthorns against West Bromwich Albion, relegated to Championship this year. He's sort of sitting back in his chair, not really bothered about playing the game, and then like there's an arrow and shows what he does next, where he's sort of like concentrating and like really full focus. That's me this season in practically every single game, and particularly the away games as well. I'm playing with a chip on my shoulder this season, man. I'm playing like it's revenge season, and we certainly started off with a point to prove this year as well. We're on fire, baby. Second place, only behind Southampton. I said I want to go to the Premier League for next season. I want to do it automatically. I won't mind if it's the playoffs, but after this red hot start to the season, if we keep pace with Southampton, there's no reason why us two can't run away as the top two teams in the division. So yes, for the 7th game of 10 in today's episode, first one of October, we left it late to get the win in this one. Luton Town coming to Turner's Cross, beaten by a goal to nil. Samuel Belbo, the hero, he just couldn't break Luton down in that game. Only got the one chance and took it right towards the end of the game as well. So 1-0 there, 6 wins in our last 7 games, and for our following one away at the Kind Prince Foundation Stadium, always going to have a soft spot when we take on QPR after our PS5 career mode this year. 28 minutes in, well, this guy right now just cannot stop scoring, and that's not the first time I said it. Samuel Belbel last season missed out on the golden boot by 2 to Tyrese Campbell. This year he's going for it. And I got to be honest, I'm sort of playing to get him goals now as well. Of course, I want to get the wins more than anything, and I don't mind sacrificing his sort of goal-to-game ratio in order to get wins for the team. But if I spot he's open, I'm giving him the ball. I want to get Belbel his second golden boot in 3 seasons, and right now he is definitely on course to achieve that. He's the front runner, he's the top scorer in the division, and long may his goals continue. So yeah, for the 8th game of 10 in today's episode, this will probably be the most difficult game of the season so far. Alongside the game against Southampton at Turner's Cross as well. West Brom relegated from last season's Premier League, just like the Saints here, and going down to the Championship. Also a 4.5-star team, just like Ralph Hasenhüttl's side. So I knew this would be a really tough game here. But again, only one away defeat all season long to start the campaign off. It feels like revenge season, so whilst we did fall behind early, what a goal from our number 9 to get us back on level terms here. I still felt confident we could win this game. But the Baggies would find a second goal to once again restore their lead of 18 minutes to go. Such a frustrating one. I said it before, but it always seems like it's Leo Yates with the poor first touch, with the bloody cement boots as the ball just ricochets off those lead boots and goes back to an opponent. So the Baggies back in front 2-1, but I said it earlier, just like against Bristol City, we never give up, and this is the reason why I signed this guy. Back to Turner's Cross and back to Cork City. Sean Maguire coming in on transfer deadline day. Second goal since returning to the club, and he rescues us with 4 minutes to go. It is so crucial to have a player like that on your bench as an impact sub. Pace, high medium work rates, good dribbling stats, and most importantly, fresh legs and energy coming off the bench to run at tired legs in late game situations. You have no idea how important that can prove to be. It certainly was there as we battled back from two separate scenarios where we were trailing to claim a really big point. And despite a really surprising slip-up, a goalless draw against the Tractor Boys in the 10th and final game of today's episode here, who right now sit winless towards the bottom of the table, we are still in the automatic promotion place. Is 2 points off Southampton now, who lead the way as we come towards the close of the first half of the season, but it is still very tight. 37 points on the board already. We're off to a red hot start, yet we can't pull away from the chasing pack in the playoffs. This is going to be an unbelievably difficult season if we are to finish in the top 6. So once this is the Cork to Glory, guys, big thank you for watching. Hope you have enjoyed it. If you have, then please drop a like. Much love to you all. Have a great day, and I'll see you for the next episode of Cork to Glory very soon.